So here I am in my beautiful front yard making a YouTube video because I have absolutely nothing else to do. I don't really have anything to talk about really. My life is pretty uneventful. My dad's in the hospital. I guess it's not that big of a deal though, is what I've been told. Long story though. Yesterday I was meant to hang out with three of my closest friends, Ariel, Rosie, and Ashley. But then my dad woke up in really, really terrible pain, so I had to take him to the clinic and completely almost erase my entire afternoon for him. And this is why. So I take him to the clinic and all is well as well as it could be. I mean, my dad gets out of the car and he's in so much pain that he almost passes out outside of the car. So I help him into the clinic and he's seen by his doctor, and I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes later, the doctor comes out and she goes, "Casey?" And, she has a really super worried look on her face. And so I go, "Yeah, that's me." And she goes, "Your dad is going to the hospital." So I'm sitting there thinking, what the fuckery? Are you seriously? And so I go join her. She's like leaving me at the door. She's running so fast, even though she doesn't even look worried anymore anyway. And so I ask, "Okay, why is my dad going to the hospital?" And she wouldn't tell me. All she said was that he had a low blood pressure. I found out later that my dad had a blood pressure of like 71 over 40 something, which is super duper low for his size. He looks pretty much like Santa Claus. He has been compared to a cartoon character. Like, he's got this really big head, zero neck, and huge beer belly and little skinny legs. So his blood pressure is supposed to be like 120 over like 80 something, 90 something, something like that. Anyway, so it was super low blood pressure, and it's a good thing I brought him into the clinic. So I'm standing there, and no one's telling me what's going on, and I'm standing there completely clueless, almost in tears pretty much, because my dad's going to the hospital and no one's telling me why. And then I later find out that his blood pressure is so terrible that they're calling the ambulance to take him over because they can't trust a 19-year-old to take him over. Really? Seriously? And they're telling me, "Don't worry, he's fine." How am I not supposed to worry when someone tells me that my dad's going to the hospital in an ambulance? Not only do I not know where my dad is going, but I find out that the hospital he's going to is way the fuck out in like East Colorado, pretty much in Kansas or Nebraska or whatever the hell is out east of Denver. I don't know how the fuck to get there. I mean, really? Okay, so I call my mom and I tell her where he's going, and so she Googles it, and we get there. They have the most intense security ever. I swear it's more intense than an airport security. My mom, I've never felt so violated. He goes into my mom's purse and he's like digging and taking everything out, and I swear to God, he's like making a hurricane of my mom's things on the counter. And so he takes out the lighters, and he gives us this little card that the number of the bag the lighters are in, so when we come back we can get them, which I guess is a lot better than the airport. Like, he doesn't completely discard them, so I guess that was good. I later found out that my dad got into the hospital with a shank. Yeah, for those of you who don't know what a shank is, it's a knife. So my mom is not allowed to go in there with lighters or matches or anything, but my dad got in there with a shank in his pocket. So that was a little bit ironic. Also, in the emergency room, my dad's laying there. He's completely in pain. He's got a low blood cell count, white blood cell count. He's super duper hydrated. He's gone through like 3 bags of the IV thing. And so my mom and I are sitting there next to him, and I go out and I look into the hall in the ER, and in the hall, like next to the wall and between the desk, there's this guy on a hospital bed who's bleeding his life out of his arm and the side of his torso and his leg. And it's not gross for me because gory things don't really gross me out. I'm not completely opposed to the smell of blood or anything, but the fact that he was laying there in the middle of a super busy hallway without anything covering his wounds was inappropriate. That they wouldn't even put him in a proper bed, let alone a room, or cover him. I'm thinking what happened is that he like fell off a motorcycle and he got really super bad road rash, but I'm not sure. But he's laying there in pain, he's screaming, and they don't even cover the wounds. Like there are a lot of people going by looking at his wounds and, you know, making ugh or blah, blah, blah faces, because I always do that when I see that. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so that was completely inappropriate. But the doctors couldn't even cover him, let alone put him in a room. Ugh, it was. I hate hospitals. I just don't like hospitals. So my question for you guys today is, do you have any hospital stories that you want to get out on the internet? Stories that have traumatized you, or hilarious stories. Hilarious things don't really happen in the hospital, but you know, it could. Am I wrong? So let me know in a text comment or video comment or whatever. Just let me know. I haven't gotten any comments telling me to get off YouTube yet, so I'm taking that as a good sign. So yeah, thanks guys.